What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. So we got the official Xbox Direct showcasing. It was around like 25-30 minutes for pretty much everything, and I'm gonna summarize all the details for you guys here in this one video. If you find the video helpful or informative, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But let's go ahead, let's dive into it. So the first thing that they did is they talked about the campaign storyline, where it takes place, and all that good stuff. So it says, in true signature Black Ops fashion, the story builds on the real history of the early 90s and will thrust players into a conspiracy where a shadowy force has infiltrated the highest levels of the United States government. They also provide the little gameplay clips and all that stuff, which I'll go ahead and just be showcasing for you guys while we talk about this. So that's pretty much a quick summary of what's going on with the storyline and the setting that it takes place. But once they dive into more details, they talk about their submissions that will definitely stick out in your memory. They have a lot of replayable value because most of them are going to be open combat missions, which we'll talk about in just a second. In terms of the storyline itself, it looks like Woods has officially gone rogue and he's brought in backup, and it says old enemies become new allies. A new protege steps up as a reluctant leader in Troy Marshall, who graces the cover of Black Ops 6. The team will need to adapt to survive, so expect some new tools and backup at your disposal. And pretty much it showcases Adler, you got Woods, they're all walking into a room. But you need to know in terms of the storyline is they were doing a CIA mission and something went wrong within that mission, which they don't tell us exactly what. And this forced Troy as well as Frank Woods to go rogue. And within this, there's a couple of characters that are also introduced. Jane Harrow, which works with the CIA. There's also going to be other new allies, Savati, who's an assassin, and Felix Newman, who's also going to be helping in with, I guess, the equipment and things like that. And they don't have the regular resources because they are now working by themselves. And then they go back into talking about the actual campaign missions themselves. So they mentioned right here, as rogue operatives, your options aren't limited to stealth or going loud. You'll have to make tough choices in the field through actions like bartering or manipulating those you may encounter across the globe. And every mission will take place in a different country, in a different area. They're even gonna go as wild as having you rob a casino. There's definitely a whole lot of variety that's gonna go on here with the campaign, and it's just gonna be completely different. They also showcase a little bit of early gameplay footage, using a shotgun running around within this casino, shooting at different enemies. They also mention a former KGB black site in the 50s and 60s will see a return of an involved safe house from Black Ops Cold War as a base of operations for the team to unravel. They also showcase photos, different angles, clips of this location, and this is going to be pretty much the safe house that you're going to have access to in the campaign itself. After that, they also showcase some brand new equipment in the campaign, and it says we're excited to offer an array of new equipment as well as favorites from the Black Ops universe. First off, the wonderful remote-controlled explosive device. A lot of this stuff is just showcased here in campaign, but you can also expect it to carry into multiplayer. They said when stealth is the answer, the deployable tranquilizer trap renders enemies unconscious, leaving you to choose deliver the coup de grace or exercise mercy and continue on your way. There's also a new throwing knife. This one says the perfect blend of stealth and brute force. The homing knife gracefully cuts through the air only to remind your enemies why they should have never underestimated you. That's pretty much what it looks like in the clip. They said when you start to feel overwhelmed, throw the disruptor to incapacitate several nearby enemies. It's time to take back control of this fight. So these are just random pieces of equipment that they went ahead and showcased. Now we jump into the next thing, which I think is very big news, and this is the new movement system that's going to be implemented into Black Ops 6. This will be across campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. So now we're jumping into the multiplayer side of things. So it says right here, movement Black Ops 6 has completely redesigned from the ground up by Treyarch. You'll be able to sprint, dive, slide in any direction, as well as maintain a full 360-degree range of motion from new supine, prone positions across all modes. And this is what it looks like. So they showcase the controller, they showcase it with it on and off, how the character model will themselves look. And this is going to be a completely brand new movement feature here introduced in Call of Duty, which means that there's definitely going to end up being a skill gap when it comes to the movement. Among the community, it looks like people are split very evenly among how many people actually like this feature and want to see this skill gap. They want to see brand new movement being introduced to Call of Duty. They're tired of playing the same type of style every single year. There's some people who think that the style or the original version, there's nothing wrong with that. They want to keep it that way. And with this movement, it's just going to add tons of confusion. It's going to make the game not feel like Call of Duty. So what are your thoughts and opinions on this? Do you think this is a feature that you'd want to see in the game? Are you planning on using it? It looks like you have the option to turn it on or off. I'm not sure if it's like a mandatory you must play like this, but I definitely think if you get the opportunity to turn it off, then this might end up putting you at a disadvantage. You can see that people who are prone are able to do a 360 view, and they'll be able to turn on other players, while if you're prone and and you don't have it on, then you're gonna have to slowly just slide and turn, and that's gonna get you eliminated. But that's one of the new features. Now, on top of that, there's another new feature that comes in. They said intelligent movement is also coming to Black Ops 6, allowing for fluid traversal of the environment no matter your skill level, meaning that it first starts off with you need to press a bunch of buttons, whether it's like X to jump or A, whatever platform you're on. You gotta jump, then you gotta go crouch, then you gotta slide, then you gotta climb, you gotta mantle, do all of that stuff. But then when you turn it on, where it gives you a movement assist, speed assist, they actually even also showcase the settings right here for the first time ever. Follows that black and orange type of style that we got with Call of Duty. Very similar to the settings that we have now, just a different color variation, but this is what it looks like. And then when you turn it off, it ends up showing you that you don't need to press a single button, and it literally does everything for you. All you need to do is just press up on your analog stick to just move in that typical direction. So it looks like that might be a feature that will help you guys out a lot, so that way you can focus a little bit more on the movement, focus on shooting enemies and all that other stuff. But following that, there's also another new feature coming in, and this is called additional combat hit zones with new animation. So there will be 9 different hit regions. You can see it starts off with the head. There's the left shoulder, the right shoulder, there's the arms, left lower area. There's just a bunch of different areas, the legs. Each area that you get hit on will do a different animation. So if you get shot in the left arm, then they'll fly back starting from the left arm. You get hit from the chest, pretty much an animation from that. This will also probably give you a different damage output depending on the area that you get hit. You may deal a different amount of damage. So it looks like the damage system may end up also getting updated, but they don't really talk about that here. And then another thing, they have something called corner slicing. This is meant to evolve the player experience by dynamically canting the sights of the weapon as you clear thresholds. So it makes it a little bit easier for you to clear corners, turn these areas. It's like an automatic assist that sort of ties towards that corner, and then it makes you go all the way around it, so you don't really stick your gun out and then have people spot you before you spot them. And it's one of those things that it's only there if you're doing it slow, so it'll give you a dramatic effect when you're trying to go in and move in slow, but then if you do it fast, it's not going to register. So for those of you guys who may not like this feature, you don't have to really deal with it or do too much with it. But that's just a new feature that they're introducing, once again implemented across all the different modes. Then there's also visual elements that are going to be coming in, and Treyarch took special care to ensure that everything feels immersed with the world that they've architectured. So they showcase right here the different outfits, the different models, the different facial expressions, the animations. Very important is the animations and the quality of the hands. You can see that as you progress and as you play the game, dirt builds up on your hands. They end up showcasing that here in the inspect animation. And then they also showcase some of the other weapons. They showcase the tattered shirts, how clothes start getting ripped off as you play the game and as you progress and take damage. Now they also go in and talk about the HUD. So they did a massive update to it to make it fully customizable. You can now place the HUD and everything around you in any particular way. Usually with Call of Duty, the changes that you can make are very minor. Now they're actually advertised that you can put the map wherever you want. You can put it on the top left, you can put it on the top right, the bottom corners. They showcase all these different layouts that you have the opportunity to update and change for yourself. You can also put the map location at the very top. You could put the scoreboard, all that towards the right side. The kill streaks could be on the right. They even showcase an example of people putting the HUD right in the center. So for those of you guys who don't want to look at the bottom, then you could just have, I guess, your ammo and all that right at the center of the screen. That's an option that you have and are able and capable of doing. So that's actually pretty surprising to me. And they also talked a little bit about the menu itself. You can see what the quick play looks like in multiplayer and how they ended up designing that. And then even after that, they go on to showcase other things like the classical prestige system. They mentioned that that is going to be officially returning. They're going to have a total of 10 different prestiges that will be available on day 1. And this is pretty much bringing back that original classic prestige system. You don't have to wait until like season 1 to, you know, raise your level cap, season 2 to raise your level cap. It's automatic. Whoever gets there the fastest gets there the fastest. Apparently each time you prestige, there's also different rewards and things that you unlock and gain. They don't showcase exactly what the prestiges look like except the final one, and that is going to be the Cerberus logo, and that is going to be the master prestige that we end up having. Now maybe in the future they're going to end up implementing a little bit more, because once everyone reaches master prestige, it may end up getting a little bit older, and maybe they may start raising the levels, stuff like they did with Black Ops 3. But anyways, other than that, they don't also just do animations, but they also mention round-based zombies is officially making its way back into the game. They don't really talk about it too much. They actually gave us only like maybe a minute or two worth of content. They showcased just a little bit of gameplay of that, and here's what they said. They said round-based zombies will come back with 2 brand new maps at launch, which we did talk about with the leaks. It looks like those were pretty accurate. They showcased some of the weapons coming in, a little bit of the sliding mechanic, the omnidirectional features, and what the zombies do look like themselves. But there's really not much that they went on and discussed here, but these are just the clips that they ended up providing us with. And then in the very end, they ended up showcasing what the entire zombies map itself will look like. But other than this, there's also a couple of other things they mentioned. So they talked about and said that there will be a Call of Duty next that will happen, and this one's going to be coming in sometime around towards the end of August. After that usually is when the beta will end up going live. They didn't give any beta dates. They talked about they were going to give us a deep dive of multiplayer, showcase the multiplayer gameplay as well, have streamers play it. Then they're going to dive into zombies, and they're going to give us a little bit information on Warzone. So as of right now, they haven't done any of that. I'm going to be making follow-up videos to this. As I watch it a couple more times, I'm going to notice some stuff. I noticed a lot of things already, and I'm trying to just compile all that for you guys just to showcase it and give you guys more information than what they gave us in the Xbox showcase. But that's all they got for you guys in this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you found it helpful or informative, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But it's been your boy Trizo, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys again. Peace.